Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan. I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out, having some fun. I'm going to be logged in on an admin character in just a few minutes. I'll show off the new Treasure Boogan rewards. I've got a little bit of news, although most of the news I think you probably already know about. We'll talk a little bit about what we have going on in the next couple of weeks, including some really cool broadcasts of Legacy of Morgoth previews that we have going on. And then I'll be in game over on Angmar as well, doing some questing to round out the show. So welcome everyone. If you haven't seen it yet, probably the biggest news of the week is our Legacy of Morgoth live stream preview. That happened on Wednesday. And it's going to happen this next Wednesday as well, 2 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/LotraStream. We've got our casual stroll with scenario live streams focusing on Legacy of Morgoth, a region every week. And so we got some cool things happening here as we get ready for our first beta for Legacy of Morgoth, which is going to be a little while yet, and then eventually roll out our pre-purchase and expansion itself. So, going to be a pretty busy... It's fall, right? Yeah, it's officially fall. So, going to be a busy fall into the winter here in the Lord of the Rings Online. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying your time on Angmar and Mordor, and all the other live worlds as well. Let's get to a little bit of news. All right. So the first bit of news I want to call out is our public events schedule, because that's really one of the biggest things that's happening in the game over the next week or so. Is we have got a series of events kicking off. 3 events, one of which began yesterday. One begins on Monday-ish, I think it's Monday, and then the next one after that begins on, that would be Friday. Yes. So, yesterday, the Treasure Boogan event kicked off at 10 a.m. Eastern, and that runs through September 17th. Shut off at 3 a.m. Eastern, early in the morning Eastern on the 18th. But then, next week on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern, the Tale of the Shipwrecked Mariner arrives, and that runs through September 22nd, shut off on the 23rd at 3 a.m. Eastern. And on Friday, so a week from today, a couple hours ago and 1 week from now, okay, let's roll with it. Baggins' birthday kicks off, and that runs through the 25th of September. So, whole bunch of events really happening in the Lord of the Rings Online over the next week and a half. And let me pop in-game real quick. My buttons rearranged themselves in XSplit, and it is causing me undue stress. That's what's going on, just for people who wonder. Alright, so I am at an undisclosed location on an undisclosed server, and this is on my admin character here. And it's not that undisclosed. But anyway, I'm just here to show you the new stuff. These are the new items that have arrived with the Treasure Boogan event, which kicked off yesterday. We have 2. A Tome of the Rohan Aurochs. It is a pet. And then we've got the Fortunate Boogan Treasure Sack. It's a back cosmetic for your character. And okay, so I've swapped over to the Treasure Sack, and there we go. I have it set up actually to do that. So here's the new cosmetic treasure sack that you can get with the Boogan event. I think it looks pretty cool. It seems like it might be slightly uncomfortable to have that chest knocking you in the head. That said, it's a pretty cool cosmetic. And that's the new thing for this year. And then the other one, hello person, is this Tome of the Rohan Aurochs. And let's bring out that little, not so little thingy guy person. It's not a guy. I have no idea. I don't think we got that detailed. Anyway, that's it. So, new stuff in the Treasure Boogan event here for this year. All right. Well, anyway, oh, and also, I don't have my webcam going. I keep forgetting that. Also, my webcam is a mess. Reason being, I could actually have a reason for this, other than I'm just bad. And the reason for that is I was actually trying to grab, I've been grabbing some video. Although I don't have anything that's usable yet. I mean, I would say I'm practicing grabbing video at this point for the eventual purpose of grabbing actual video that both looks and sounds good. Of Ringwraith fights on Angmar. And so I'm trying to do some kind of... my goal in my head is some kind of 5-10 minute montage of Ringwraith fights. That would be for the live stream here for funsies. And so I've been doing that. But as a result, I've been grabbing video without my camera on. And unless I check the scene before I go live, that's what happens. So, there we are. Alright, let me get back to the news while I swap servers here. Actually, I want that one. And get to the next bit of news, which is, I mentioned this earlier, but I did want to put up the full schedule on the stream here, and that is every Wednesday in September into October, we are going to be doing previews on twitch.tv/LotraStream. These get uploaded usually within about 4 hours or so onto YouTube. Depends on the time of day and I don't know how many tubes are available, but something in the range of about 4 hours afterwards over on our YouTube channel at Lord of the Rings. But you can see it live and join Scenario and chat. 2 p.m. Eastern, right here, twitch.tv/LotraStream. Next week is going to be Kud Zagan. After that is Imhular, and then Urash Dar, and then we'll round it out on October 9th with the Legacy of Morgoth instances as well. So the first one happened on Wednesday this week, and I thought it turned out real good. I think Scenario knows what he's doing and is doing a great job on these live streams. They're a little nerdy. If you're into like the nerdier side of Lotra, you're gonna dig this. You should check it out. The other thing you should do is buy this Rakish Patrons Coffer if you are interested, because it goes away after Sunday. This is available in the Lotra store through this Sunday at 35% off, and I'm not going to name a name, but someone on the forums said overnight that this is the one not to miss. So I'm going to take their word for it and agree with them that besides that cute little kitty thing there, is some of our better cosmetics that we've released coffer style. This one's pretty good. Pretty darn good, and it gets you mithril too. So that 35% off might well be something you are interested in, particularly, especially if you need or think you might need mithril in the future. It's a pretty good deal. So you can learn more about it over on Lotra.com, but you do want to jump on this. Our coffers are available for a limited time. Don't know when it's going to come back. So get it now if you're interested. Also, I mean, 35% off on the Patrons Coffer is getting not too far away from our deeper discounts. So, I did want to call out, if you're like, how do I boogan and what's a treasure? You can find out over on Lotra.com. Click on the guides button if it's not up on the main page, but it is up on the main page. And you can learn more about how to do the instances. It's basically you go into a list of most, but not all of the scaled instances that can have treasure boogans, and if a treasure boogan spawns, you defeat it, and then you get widgets, and you turn in those widgets for some of the things that I just showed you, in addition to a larger list like a Tome of the Formal Corgi. We have a Kraban, a different treasure sack as well. Housing item like the tipped bag of coins. I think that's going to get me running this for a little bit because I kind of want that on Angmar, I think. I don't have a house yet on Angmar. I'm going to do a house stream. Someday we're going to do a This Old House or a HGTV show, Cordovan Angmar style. But I've still got books and stuff to run through, so we're not there yet. But anyway, you can find out more about the Treasure Boogin event over on Loadsher.com. And when I look at the week ahead, next week we don't currently have a patch or anything set for our Wednesday downtime. So it should just be the events for next week and a pretty clean slate in terms of downtimes and other kind of big happenings otherwise. The week after that, we currently have I believe it's still somewhat tentative, but likely to happen, and that would be a 41.3. This would be a small bug fix, maybe feature fit-in patch that'll happen roughly on Wednesday, September 25th. So that's what we have going on. And then, on the first tier, then looking a little bit further out, we've got the Hardtack crafting event returning on October 1st. And the Dragon in the Storm leading the charge deed running out also at, I think I have it set for 3 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, October 1st. I'm going to have to get out some messaging on that, get some copy translated and localized into French and German, and get word out about the Dragon in the Storm leading the charge deed, which runs until 3 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, October 1st. That's the news, I think. We got anything else? What do you want to talk about? Alright. I said I was going to switch servers, and then I just started talking, and I didn't actually switch servers. What's the Dragon event? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about the new instance that arrived perhaps within the past couple of weeks? A week here, right? Because last Friday I ran it for the first time on stream. And we do have a new free instance available. Before the Shadow is also free for everyone. And we do have some coupons. I suppose I should look at the end dates here for the stream quick, too. We have our coupons running out moderately soon. So our coupon code is available through September 25th. So you still have about, about a week and a half, a little bit longer than a week and a half to use either the Galadriel's Gift code to get the Festive Azure Steed, and the other one, which is Smog's Spoils, to get the Green Dragon Portrait Frame and Golden Drakeling Pet, and that also is through September 25th. So, but probably the dragon thing is the new dragon instance that we have, and that's available on the not Angmar and Mordor, because it is a level 150 instance, but a new 150 instance that hit all the live game worlds. You can just sort of join it and run it. Hey Dark, nice to see you. Is there a way to increase the frequency of Wraith encounters? We did, in fact, actually do a little work in that regard. Some players have noticed. Now, I've said this before, and I mean it, which is that we're not really providing a timetable for when Wraiths are going to spawn publicly. I know people don't want to hear that news. They want to know when. Also, we know that really everyone wants to take part, right? If you're on the live game world and a Wraith spawns, you want to be there, right? But the nature of the event itself only allows for limited participation, and that's going to cause some stress and conflict when, by design, perhaps even a majority of the people on the game worlds do not actually have an opportunity to engage in the Ring Wraith fight because of the nature of the mechanic. I mean, that is by design, that it's not meant that everyone gets to take part every time. But we are working on it as well. We've talked about this in recent weeks, but we are doing some work to allow for access in a way that's perhaps a little more elegant and more in line with player demand. And we're going to have more information. I don't even want to really kind of get too much into it. I think Vastin has maybe said a few things. I've said a few things. We might be able to use instance creation and spacing in a way that is not currently being done, for example. But I don't really want to get too much more into it than that, because we also have Moria coming. And there may be some things associated with the Veil of the Nine that are content associated as well. So, I don't want to spoil it. Where am I right now on Angmar is I'm leveling up. Over this past week, just about at least, say, 45 minutes a night. Maybe an hour or so on longer nights. I've been logging in and leveling up this character so that I can hit level 50 and better participate in the Ring Wraith fights, and until this weekend I wasn't even 45, so I couldn't get the rewards even if I could get there anyway. But I'm there now. I am level 46. As you see, we'll probably hit 47 on the live stream here, and I'm running through some books. I've been sitting on Book 8, Chapter 1 for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days now. And the reason is I was level 44 when I acquired it, 45 when I acquired it, whatever the minimum level was to even be able to pick up the ring. And I went in there, and I got pwned. And the reason I got pwned is because I was 5 levels under. And so it was like a message from the sky told me to, a little birdie, I was birding, and a little bird said, "Why are you birding? You should be leveling up instead." And so I did. I have been, and that's what I'm up to now. I've been doing a bunch of leveling off stream with the hope that I would maybe be ready to do Book 8 Chapter 1 on camera here for the show today, but I don't think we're there. I can give it a try maybe towards the end when I hit 47 or whatever, but I am still getting pwned a bit. So I'm just doing questing in Angmar at the moment, picking up some XP. I've been really just mainlining the book, and when I've needed to, I've been filling it in with missions and things. Which is another option. Oh, let me get the audio up. But that is where we find Loremaster, Rivermaster today. I have not heard about the Hunter update. I think, frankly, the team has just been busy doing other things. You know, it wasn't that long since Loremaster just came out, right? And we've been doing a ton of work on Loremaster. I have to admit, though, I have not been keeping a close eye on what, say, Onmac Mahal might be saying. So if he has talked about any work that he's doing or something like that, or if Ryan has talked about any Hunter work they're doing, I'm not familiar with what might be most recently said regarding the state of work there. I think it's something that they intend to do, but as we've always said, all classes are kind of always on the table and are always being worked on. And which comes when tends to be a matter of what's ready when. And when it's going to be ready is something I tend to have less visibility on. Sometimes it's a nice big bullet point, like, yeah, we're doing Loremaster for 41. Sometimes it's a lot squishier than that. So, eventually I want to get into the arena of Method, although I've been struggling a little bit there as well. There's some real tough troll fights and things that I need to get through. So I'm kind of working my way there, and you can see I've got... I'm also working on my Loremaster class quest. That's the other thing I'm doing. So I've been doing that as well, but I'm probably not going to do that on stream, although maybe. Maybe we'll get up to... there was one that I thought was in the area. No, I already picked up the ring by Fash Laren. So we'll see how far I get. But for now, I am in desperate straits, which means I'm doing what? I am collecting corrupted Noburgir legs. Okay. You want to see me enter the game world when the Nazgul spawns? So what I've been trying to do, I don't... That was said very poorly. Let me try that again. I have been sneaking a peek and getting some secret info, perhaps from someone who is monitoring the game world who built the feature, or worked on the feature, of when some of the spawns have been happening. And so I have been able to log into the game world. However, I have no clue where they are going to happen. So once I'm actually in the game world, I have no more kind of ability to get there and do the thing than anyone else. I could cheat. And how I would cheat would be I would actually log into my official Cordovan admin character and just teleport there. But that's not what I want to do, because what I'm actually trying to do is grab fight video and get, you know, kind of real scenario fight video. And community video of people running in and doing that. So I've been doing that on my regular play character, which means I don't get any of the special secret tricks. You know, I have to find there. I got to get invited into the instance layer and everything else that everyone else has to do. And that's really what I've been doing here in recent days. If I've been able to get a heads up as to when it's happening, I've been logging in, getting ready, and then just making the same run everyone else is making. So far, I've not been successful, but I've also, but like I said, part of it is really I've been practicing. This was for real season that if I get lucky, I would use the video. But the main thing is, okay, well, let's try to concept this out. I've got this picture in my head of what I want the end video to look like. How do I get there? And sometimes getting there means just frankly practicing a little bit. And that's what I've been doing in the last couple of days. So that when I do get lucky, and either I'm close enough to the spawn to be there before the layering happens, or I get invited into a layer or something like that. The same process everyone else does by just dropping X in world chat or whatever and getting the invite. Then I'll be there to grab video of it and do the thing. So. And yeah, I mean, the only parts of it that are going to be a bit of a slideshow as well. I think we've seen that, we've seen that. So that's part of the work that we're doing as well, related to offering it potentially as an instance and things as well. We're trying to iterate as we go forward, because this is going to be a long-term project here, right? You know, this isn't an event that goes away on September 25th. This is something we're working on long-term, so, for these game worlds. So as much as there are some issues that we've been talking about, we've already done several iterations so far, and we'll continue to do so. I think conceptually, it's proven to be a pretty interesting spawn and event, and you know, we know the frustration. We read the same stuff you're reading, right, on the forums and elsewhere. People who are like, I want in, why can't I just get in, you know? And some of that is like, well, you know, not everyone gets the VIP ticket, not everyone gets the golden ticket in, right? That's kind of how it works. But at the same time, we do want to address a lot of your concerns and comments and make it as fun and awesome an experience as it can be. And so we're continuing to do work that I think we'll see over the next couple of updates. I don't know that it's going to be in before Moria, because there's a running target here, right? Because we at the very least want to have this stuff in for when we're ready for Moria, which means doing work related to that content specifically. And so backporting it in while we're running the event and getting the expansion ready and doing everything else, timing, it can be a challenge a little bit. So that's why we did the first couple iterations, which were really focused on the event as it was in place to polish it up. And it did get a little better. And so now we're working longer term as to what we're going to do with it. So whether we end up seeing that in a point update prior to maybe the expansion, or maybe even after the expansion, I don't know. But I would expect to see some iteration for Mori at the very least. I just need one more of those bugs. Alright. We're not getting... That's some information I am not willing to provide, which is the rollout plans for all 9 of the Nazgul. Stay tuned. I ain't spoiling it here. Sorry. Alright. Well, that's done. And I'm pretty close to the Arena of Mathod. So let's try that again. I might get pwned here. I might embarrass myself on the live stream. I also need to take care of my inventory. That's a problem. Alright, well... It won't matter. I'm going to get pwned and then I'll just respawn anyway. But we'll try this. I mean, to be fair, I am even now, I leveled up on stream here a bit ago. I'm only level 47, so I'm still a few levels under the level of the content itself. Even if I'm a little bit of a OP lore master. Oh, did I say that? I didn't say that. Even though I'm a perfectly balanced lore master. These... It's not so much here as once I've been getting into kind of further in over by the rings there. You get into the situation with some really kind of nasty trolls that can be difficult. Certainly as my poor little level 45 self was finding out. So then I took a detour and just started questing up instead. I'm also working to figure out how to really integrate Ensko to War into my rotation a little bit. It's working and it's not working for me, so I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there are ways I can better maximize it than what I'm doing. I know to do the Cracked Earth first, and then follow up with the Ensko to War. But the induction time seems particularly long, and instead these little quick pops of Wizard's Fire and Frost seem to, for a lot of trash, frankly, just get the job done. Then I've been saving my lightning storms for, I mean, moderate cooldown, but when I just want to blast a whole group like that. And then if they're coming to me, I'll drop the Ring of Fire. I try to make sure I got my Sign of Power Vigilance active when I can. Main issue, I really could use some additional healing. I need to figure that part out. Oh, actually, it's this one. Call to the Valar. This one helps with a little bit of morale. But I was actually talking about the Call of the Valor there, in terms of keeping that up for my Lightning Storm and that from not having an interruptible induction attack. The Lightning Storms are super satisfying. The Lightning Strike is nice, too, but there are periods where my Lightning Strike is more powerful, and, you know, where it's just a little ahead of the DPS curve, and then times where it's kind of behind the DPS curve. And at the moment, I think it's a little behind, but my Lightning Storm is still my friend, so... Have you met my good friend, Lightning Storm? Say hello, Lightning Storm. I don't have any news to announce about, say, multi-thread processing and what have you. A lot of that is done with our 64-bit server, which is what Angmar and Mordor be. And further improvements will be coming over time. In terms of optimizing a game engine, didn't I? I think I went into a little mini rant about that last week or 2 weeks ago, that conceptually game engines, particularly for a game like ours, built with a proprietary engine like ours, that's been around a long time. We are always working to optimize the game engine. But the idea of replacing the game engine is perhaps not really in line with reality. Yeah, I've often... well, so if my lightning storm is not, at least yet, strong enough to just one-shot everything when I'm under level like this. So if there's an opportunity to do it, I don't know. And also, I missed my window. Where am I going? Do I need to go this way? No. Yes. I'm not lost. Oh. I am not, however, I'm not lost. I'm just not where I want to be. And this is probably, there we go. That's where I want to go. Through there. Alright. And this is the section I've been having some problems with. Right beyond these thrashers and that, there's some pretty tough mobs. And I was under level, so I was going kind of slow, which was fine. Except I was too slow. And stuff spawned behind me. And then I ended up aggroing them while I was trying to take further ahead mobs out. And so I've just been leveling up. But we'll see how we do here today. If I can take care of this Arena Mathod stuff, that would be pretty good. It's been going better so far. It's just that I have kind of limited cooldowns on my healing. And that can be a challenge. So. Oh, like that. Oh no. Poor Kodovan is gonna die. Run away! There's no running away in this game. Alright. I'm not reviving for free either. So that's generally been my experience with the Arena Mathod, but once I actually hit level 49, I expect it'll go significantly better for me. I guess while I'm at it, let's take a look at my trait tree panel. You can see I'm basically just core running redline. Eventually I'll dip into something else, but I do enjoy my Johnny Cash, so this is what I've been spending my points on at the moment. Oh, let me actually go back to Camp and Sell. That's compelling content. Yeah, I have not honestly had time to really focus on Extra Life yet. I did save myself some time already last year, and that I've planned out what items are going to debut this year, and work has been done to get that in place. So we're in a pretty good place in terms of, do I have my bags? Yes, okay, good. In terms of a couple of new items, we've got a couple returning items from 2014, because remember I'm doing a 10-year decade thing on kind of old deprecated items when I can. So we got a couple of the 2014 titles in that coming back, and I think I've got one new thing as well. At least one new thing as well. So it should be a pretty good Extra Life. I would expect it to kick off something like... I mean, I usually like... There's a world in which I try to kick it off on October 1st. I just don't see that happening this year. I'm sorry. I know what I have to do between now and then, and just no way. Just not going to happen. So I don't know. But no later, and then I'm going to be gone for a week in mid-October. So probably something like either October 1st or after I get back from my trip out of town for a week. I'll launch it, and then we'll run it through the end of the year. Do you keep your scroll cases? They're just vendor trash, right? Should I be keeping my scroll cases for real? Should I? I don't. I don't. Do you? I'm suddenly having this, oh no, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing what everyone else does. There we go. On items, I'll just deal with it later. I'm not going to worry about that now. Okay, I think this is... Okay, that's part of my... Oh, I have to watch out. Don't sell my Lore Master stuff, huh? Okay. Alright, well, don't do that, me. You can see I'm picking up items I can't actually even use yet. Okay, the worm eyes. Alright, well, I think that at least opened up a little space here. I can deal with the rest off stream. Alright. Back to the battle. This time, actually maybe I should stable master my way up to... Gath Forthnir. And head up to, let's see, Cries of the Host would be defeat Eärvil. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let me head up to Gath Forthnir. We'll take care of it that way.
What do you need?
I play in 1920 by 1080. I have not yet joined the 4K world. My TV is 4K. None of my computer monitors are. They're all... I have 3 computer monitors set up kind of in a wide horizontal thing. And they're all 1920 by 1080. And I'm running a 3060 in terms of graphics card. 32 gigs of RAM. I've got a i7 7700K 4.2 gig processor. Other bits and bobs. The appearance of characters like Feanor in the game is something I really need to defer to people who know more about our availability for NPCs, so that would be people like Maid of Lions is going to know more than I will about that sort of thing. So unfortunately, I can't really speak to it. And my computer is at this point about 5 years or so old, and it's getting there. It's getting there. I mean, in theory, all those numbers sound good, but in practice, and like you saw, was it last week or the week before, that I had such a bad video show I couldn't even upload it afterwards? And that was due to really my CPU starting to get throttled, and my GPU starting to get throttled sometimes. But I think the biggest issue with my PC is I could use a hard drive upgrade. But once I start going down that process, everything else needs to be upgraded too, so. Because for this Lotro game client in particular, it's still on a mechanical drive, and I really need to get my live game client on an SSD. I have in the past, I just happen to need the space for other things right now. So I had to put it back on the mechanical. Which I do not recommend. I think Cordo's Tech Talk. Computers come in boxes. No, Cordo's Tech Talk is that if you do one thing, make sure your Lotro game client's running on an SSD. I'm not even following my own advice, and it's still true. You will see immediate visible improvement. It won't solve your problems, but it'll give you a nice back rub. Alright, where are you, Iravel? There you are. The other reason I've been sometimes saving my lightning strike, actually, is because I've been wanting to make sure that I have it on hand after I defeat a mob, in case I'm starting to get a ring wraith spawn. So I kind of need that. Alright, well, I kind of could go either direction. I suppose for these last 15 minutes, let's head back to the books and see how we sit at level 47 here. I am not particularly well suited to talk about class theoreticals. I think a warden getting a throwing javelin sounds cool, but I don't really make such decisions, and it would really be up to the class folks to decide what they wanted to do. So I can't really speak to it very much. I'm sorry. In my experience, most ideas are good, and that is bad because you can only do a fraction of the things you want to do. Seriously, though, Lotro on an SSD. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm sure thrown javelins would be a big project in terms of animations and systems involved and perpetrating the loot throughout the game world, and, you know, there's a whole host of things that come with, we should do this cool thing. I'm sure it would be a project. The question is whether it made sense enough to do. And I don't know. It's true. Like I said, Lori, running Lotro on an SSD is not going to solve all your problems. All our problems. But it's still a lot better. Can a mariner get a little gun crossbow? Probably not. Again, speaking of lore, I can't speak to whether there is any reference in any of the appendices, or maybe even an offhand reference I can't think of in the books, the main books, to some kind of blunderbuss or something like that. But my guess would be shooty weapons would probably not be something we would be bringing to the game. And I would say mariners are... They draw influence from your formal pirates or whatever, but they're a little broader in category than that. They were meant to be really kind of seafaring folk in a wider sense. So while there are elements of, say, swashbuckler and pirate and corsair and things like that. Remember, at one point earlier on in an iteration, we were referring to them as corsairs before we settled on mariner. As a nicer, broader term, really. So, Ponton, forum login is working, in that there are plenty of people able to log in and post on the forums. It is not working to the extent that you are not alone in telling me that you are not able to log in. I don't have a solution at this time for it, and I apologize for that. I don't know what's up. And I don't know how broadly the issue is. And I don't know how to fix it. So, what I'm going to have to do is raise a ticket with probably the Daybreak platform team, I think. Sometime later this afternoon, and see if we can't get it looked at. But that's about the extent I can promise. What I'm hearing is that it seems to be related specifically to... Can I get... Yes. Seems to be related specifically to kind of spinning when you're trying to log in. Just sort of not resolving. And that, to me, sounds like some kind of authentication system hang-up that I have no control over. Which sucks, but is true. Oh no! 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 I'm not good enough. See, I'm just not there yet. I really need to be level 49 here before I start heading in there. It's only 2 levels, but isn't going so good. So let me kind of pivot and figure out what I want to do for these final 10 minutes here. Why don't I... Do I want to head up into Karn Doom? Do I want to keep trying over on Gorthad? Just level up a little bit that way? Perhaps? Perhaps. Yeah, I remember this area of Angmar in previous times that I've gone through this content, and yeah, it can be. It's a trickier part of the experience here. I found that in the past on other characters as well that this is perhaps one of the more difficult sections that I've had to get through, is this specific bit involving Angmar. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm doing better than I was, say, on Friday, because I've leveled up some and such. So let me just keep poking around, I guess, for these final 10 minutes over on the Arena of Maethod. I need to go blue and break out the pet companion. It's true. So ever since Update 41 came out and I started playing this Lore Master, and I've explained in the past how I haven't really played Lore Master much. So this is a learning experience for me. I've really just been focusing on red because things are dying, and I like it, and Lightning Strike is super satisfying, and the pet thing of them disappearing doesn't bother me in the slightest. So I've been focusing on red line, but maybe you're right. Maybe I should go into blue line and start bringing out pets and do pet tactics and things like that. It's true, we're a little glass cannon at the moment, ATM. But, you know, there's also plenty of lore masters who know what they're doing, who aren't me, who have not been having such troubles. So, yeah, you run away. And that's true, like having that aggro of a pet would be a big deal. And it helped there, like you just saw right there, that the bear going after the skirmisher on the side and things like that. But the bear's still doing that for some period of time when I need it to. The idea of like a hunting hobby certainly has come up over the years. Maybe someday. We're less violent in our current new hobby with bird watching, but like the idea of hunting would be a natural hobby for the people of Middle Earth, so it would, and not just as a hobby, of course, too, but for survival and other reasons they're hunting. But it makes perfect sense here. You could also say, though, we tend to require you to hunt fairly regularly as a gameplay mechanic with some of our kill quests and things. And so, when it came time to what would be our second hobby, it just didn't win. Yes, I imagine this Redline Lore Master will do fairly well in the Treasure Boogan event, although I guess we'll see. I'm going to run it off stream before I run it on stream. But, I would imagine those nukes pay off pretty well, so... kind of wish I could just start naming names of all the other hobbies that are on our whiteboard. But there's been so many good ideas over the years. And I think birding, you know, I think birding has gone pretty well. And so maybe that gives us opportunity for other hobbies here in the future. Maybe it won't be a decade plus between hobbies. We'll see. Friday the 13th. A group of warriors are camping at Camp Crystal Lake when an unseen force takes them out. It is Friday the 13th, everybody. Which is your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Mine, I think, is part... I can't remember if it's 3 or 5. Whichever one has the... Mattel Microvision handheld game console in it that the dude's playing. Because that's really funny. I bet our list of hobbies we should do intersects with your Venn diagram of suggestions of hobbies we could do. Because a lot of it just makes sense, right? We all know the books. Well, we don't all, but many of us know the books. We know the golf reference. We know hunting, fishing. Other things. Yep, smoke rings. I also really like Jason X, where Jason goes to space, because that's funny. That is very funny. Yep, okay, here we go. This is the pwn point. But that's fine. We're at 12:58, so let's get pwned here. Let me have some crams. Let me find my little hope. That's one hope. There we go. Alright. I'm ready for... I'm going to start with a lightning strike, and then move on over to the fire pit. Well, they all come toward me. And I'll do a cracked earth and an ent. Followed up with my AoE, except I got knocked down. Pop my healing. Let's bring out the bear. Give myself flanking. Alright, now my other lightning strike is on. Storm is on cooldowns. Drop that. But see, that didn't do that much damage against it. Didn't really do that much. But this Ents Go to War, look at that. A little bonk. It's one of the more bigger one-shots in my arsenal at the moment. Hey! Not bad. But see, now all my stuff is on cooldown, right? And it's going to be a little while on cooldown. So as I push forward here, and I've got another set of 3, I can't rely on all that stuff I just did. And if I wait too long, these things will back spawn, and then take me out as I'm fighting the people ahead. And that's some of the challenge I've run into here. But we'll see where we go. Oh, didn't get it. There we go. Well, that's that. We knew that was going to happen. So there we go. Alright, well, let's wrap up the show then with a little birding. Since I just talked about birding, let's see if we can find a few things over here in Angmar. While I look at chat. I did use a hope token, but I only have a +1 hope token right now. So that's not getting me too much. It's true, under level running into a fellowship area solo, that's the Cordovan way. I'm probably not gonna die, I will say, as I run into battle. Oh, so I think I have... I don't know if that shows up in the names channel or not. Yes, Jason X having the characters from Andromeda doesn't hurt either. That's cool. Yay! Alright, well we found the bluebill. That's where we are. Where are we on the, where am I? I'm not that far really into the birding. I've only got 33 of the 214 birds, because I just sort of do it when I'm killing time or waiting around or what have you. But I've been picking up some birds here and having a really good time doing it. It's a fun time, so. Thanks for watching. Court of the Rings on this happy Fall Friday. Hope you're enjoying the Treasure Bogan event. Tales of the Shipwrecked Mariner and Baggins' birthday event hits next week as well. Rakish Patrons Coffer, final weekend for that in the Lotro store, so do pick it up if you're interested at 35% off. Use those free coupons you can find on Lotro.com, and I'll see you next Friday with more. Have fun, everyone. Bye-bye.